So we're going to talk about profits of profit. There was this guy, Banta Singh, if people from undivided Punjab know about this personality. He has been a minister in Punjab government for quite some time before the partition of Haryana. So Banta Singh is a real character. I'm not inventing it because of my site. So this guy kind of was when he was a minister. So he went to a talk like this. He was to deliver a speech. So he didn't know what to say and what to talk. So he asked the audience, do you know what I'm going to talk about? Everyone says, nahi pata, we don't know. He says, if you don't know, why am I here? I'd rather leave. So he was about to leave. People held him, the organizers brought him back. And they said, ask the audience again. So he said, "Tonu pata hai main aaj ki bolan wala? Do you know what I'm going to talk about today?" Everyone says, raising the hand, pata hai, we know it. So he says, you all know it, why am I here? So I'd rather leave. So he was again about to leave, and again organizers brought him back. So कहते sir एक बारी दोबारा पूछो. So audience ਨੂੰ समझो ਦਿੱਤਾ. So they made the audience understand that you have to be really very intelligent, and this is what you are supposed to do. So he said, do you know what I'm going to talk about? Half of the audience says yes, half of the audience says no. So he says, all those who know that what I'm going to talk about, come on this side. All those who don't know, please come on that side. So he says, you know everything what I'm going to talk about? Audience says yes. So you don't know what I'm going to talk about? They said no. So you please tell them what I'm going to talk about. I'm leaving. So I'm going to talk about profits of profit. I haven't talked about it ever before. I'm going to do it for the first time. It's basically every business is run on the motive to earn profit. Over a period of time, when the business becomes successful, it grows, a lot of things come into the picture. It's not only the profit for which the company is running. So most of the companies that when they become successful, profit is not only the only motive. So if you keep doing things right in different fields and taking care of a lot of things when you are running your business, profit would automatically come to the organization. Planning is the most important thing in life. I'll quote you a very wonderful example over here, because stories convey the message beautifully rather than I talking about planning as such. There's a friend of mine, he was working in ICICI Bank handling an account of Suzuki, and the CEO of Suzuki had come to India, and he, being a branch manager, was also invited to the luncheon meeting. He went to him while he was having lunch that I want to talk to you, and I want to understand that why Japanese are so successful in their ventures and their business. So he said, son, what we do is we plan and we plan and we plan. We sit on the drawing board, all the key stakeholders in the company, and then we do the planning. Then we think of ways how this venture can fail. We address those issues, and then again we said, he said that we take at least 2 years before we start the venture. And when we have started it, we have covered 99% of the reasons which are responsible for the failure of a business. So 1%, anything can happen. So that 1% cannot be taken care of. That is why you have key men in key posts to look after the business and run the business. Otherwise, the business would run itself if only the planning part would take care of it. What happens is most of the people fail in business, or not able to make profit out of the business, because they think of an idea in their mind and they don't talk to anyone. This is true with almost majority of the people. Majority of the people, they don't talk to anyone. Same was the case with me when I started my venture. So when I started it, people didn't know what exactly I'm doing. My father till now doesn't know what I am doing in my site. So when I started this venture, I kept selling my real estate and investing it into my venture. And people used to come to me and say what you are doing. And almost after 1.5 years, I was advised by my friends and my wife on the insistence of my parents that you should shut down this venture. I told them that there's an old wisdom about running a business in India, that it takes 3 years to make a profit in a business. So I told them that I've already spent 1.5 years to start this business, and I am almost at a stage where I am at 30 stage that I'm not losing money. So if I start something else now, I'll be wasting another 1.5 years. So lo and behold, within 2-3 months time, I was settled and making profit out of my business. So this is very important that you have mentor and advisors. That time you didn't have. Now there are so many established entrepreneurs in the IT space. And there are a number of platforms available to you, number of forums available to you. So it is very important that whatever venture you select or you pick up, you find a mentor related to that field or an advisor you can talk. So controlled aggression is something very important when you are running a business. If you are not aggressive when you have a startup or a business, you would not really succeed in it. Then you will be laid back. Then you will be only surviving. You would not be growing. So controlled aggression is very, very important. So you ought to understand that aggression is very important in whatever you do, not in fighting. But aggression is important when you are running your business. So it has to be controlled, that you are not raw, you are not aggressive unnecessarily. Success is there, profit is there, business is doing well. But if you don't have compassion and gratitude, what is compassion? Sympathize for people who are underprivileged, who really can't afford what you can afford. Someone who wants your help, you're not helping him. That's not compassion. So you have to be compassionate at all times. What kind of help it can be? Help can be any ways. In kind, always appreciated. But in cash also, if you can help, you should help. There would come times that you would also need help from others. So a friend comes to you and asks that I have started something, or I'm short of funds these days, I need money. If you have money, give it to him. Why not? People think, I'll give it to him, he would not return, what will I do? What happens if he doesn't return? Think at the stage in your life that you are able to give. You are at the other side. Think if you had been on the other side in place of your friend or your family member who needs your help. Then what? So a lot of time people think, no, I should not be wasting in my money and not helping others. The more you give, the more you get from God. It's a karma. This is the most important thing that I think is the most important slide in my whole presentation. Decision making is something that you have to do all day long. चावल खाने, राइस खाने, पानी पीना है कि नींबू पानी पीना, कोक पीना है कि बियर पीनी, सूट डालना है कि बंद गला डालना है, टाई डालनी है कि बंद शर्ट बिना टाई के भी चलेगा. So you are taking decisions all the time. किस स्लाइड पे ज्यादा बोलना है, किस पे कम बोलना. Decision making is always going on your mind. So now what happens is that at times you take decisions without applying your mind. But most of the decisions, the major decisions, or some decisions which are responsible for the success of your business, you have to really apply yourself for it. The most important thing I'm going to tell you today and the whole of this talk is close your eyes for 3 minutes. For just 3 minutes, close your eyes, close the door also so that no one disturbs you, and silence your WhatsApp, the most important. Close your eyes and think about that decision, and 99% of the time that decision would be right. Try to think about it, try to implement it in your life. I assure you, you can come and catch hold of me from the collar if I am wrong on this. You would get all the answers just by closing your eyes and thinking about it. Next. This is also very, very important, and it's contained in the Vedas. So you don't have to believe me for it. Trust the Vedas for it. That this is how you earn your profits, your earnings in life. And if you follow this, you'll be very, very happy all your life. You won't falter any time in your life. First thing is 10% reserve it for philanthropy, for giving it to others. Maybe a loan to a friend, maybe helping someone in kind, or any way, the way you feel good about it. You can even do it 5%, but whatever you think in your mind, you have to be truthful to it. Don't change your decision later. Stick to this decision of either 5%, 6%, 7%, or 10%, and spend it on philanthropy. जिस हमारे Sikhism में उसे बोलते हैं दसवंत, 1/10 of your earning, give it to others. 50% you spend on yourself, your family, your food, your clothing, your shelter, your house, your luxuries, your travel, your shoes, your car. You spend 50% of it on yourself. 20% you reinvest in business so that the business can grow more, that you can do more things in your business. You can implement your ideas which you really couldn't implement earlier. 10% you must have savings. Put it in units, equity, real estate, or any other thing, or art, or antique, whatever you feel good about it, or gold, because this is very important, these savings. So this should, 50% of it should be in liquid assets so that you can take out the money whenever you feel like. If you follow this principle, you'll be very happy all your life. This is contained in the Vedas and told to me by my Guruji, so I'm sharing it with all of you. Thank you. Next. Forums and networking is the most important thing. I'm invited almost every week to come to some institute or to some forum to give a talk. When I go over there, I learn a number of things. I meet a number of interesting people. So by meeting people and listening to them, your horizon really widens. Most of the people are successful in the business because they are networking and attending all these events on forum. So it's a very wise saying, ordinary people work, big people network. So networking is very important whenever you get the opportunity, and you must avail it. Join as many number of organizations as are possible, which can further your business interests. That will really help you. Maslow gave this theory a number of years back. It holds good, still holds good. You know about physiological things, your needs, your eating, clothing, everything. Safety, you know. Self-esteem is very, very important. If your esteem is shattered, you are not able to do anything. You generally go into a depression also. So you also must have a good self-esteem at all times. There are a number of ways by which you can increase your self-esteem. One of this is coming to a TED show and talking over there. This will really raise your self-esteem that I am really cared for or asked for to be a speaker. Self-actualization is the most important thing in this whole Maslow's theory of hierarchy. So Self-actualization would mean different things for different people. For any person, self-actualization would mean that he does what he always craved to do, but he couldn't do because he didn't have the resources. Because he had to provide for his family. That he needed some kind of comfort system for everyone around him. So when a person has done all this, that's the time when he starts doing what he always wanted to do, whether he wanted to travel or wanted to. The other thing, apart from this, self-actualization for some people mean going towards spirituality, knowing yourself, knowing the God in you, knowing the universe within you, doing meditation, uplifting yourself, elevating yourself. So this is the most important thing that you must do, and your life would be very, 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 very good if you do that. And everyone must do it, especially the people who have crossed the age of 40, 45 years. Try to do meditation. Try to feed your soul. We are all the time feeding our body, and we are not feeding the soul. The food for soul is meditation. Thank you very much. Thank you. Enjoyed it with you.